What is up? So I'm like 4 minutes early. But I think you guys will be okay with that, right? So before I get started, I'm going to wait till we got a decent amount of people viewing before I really jump into it. That way you guys don't miss anything. Got my tea. It's been a solid 16 hours, so we're good. No, I'll take that back. It's been like 14. As usual, if you guys have any comments, questions, throw them into the comments over there. I am not going to be doing a Q&A. Well, I'll be answering questions, of course, but I haven't done actual live sourcing in a while, so I want to make sure we jump into that. Kind of seeing where we left off this account on the good old Vendrive. So far, just in doing little things here and there. 14 products, average BSR 12,000, average buy box price is $50. Not bad. I prefer a little bit higher, probably closer to 100 for my average, but 50 is certainly not bad. I know a lot of people have been targeting like $20 and below. That is not enough. Now, just so I can make sure, because I'm using a little different setup tonight, can you guys please comment if you can hear me? That would be great. Sam, this is not my personal account. That'd be cheating for you guys. This is a little demo account that I've set up for doing this sourcing. The cool thing about this, though, all the products that I find while doing this with you guys are products I would personally reach out with. Sam, thank you for letting me know you guys can hear me. That's good. Don't want to go on a rant and it be completely quiet. No, personal account's a little bit higher than 14, to be honest. So I'm going to wait just a few more minutes, and I'm going to jump right into sourcing, and we'll get right to it. I'm going to sip on my tea a little bit, try to relax from a very long day. I may or may not be fighting off a cold. I can't tell yet. All right, we got a few more in here, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into here. So we have a lot of new members, like a ton of new members. So I'm going to go through this a bit slower than I left off with. So first things first, we need to pick a category, right? Doesn't matter which one. I have ones that I typically go to. Don't be afraid to mix it up. But like, obviously, I'm not going to go to digital music. I think it's something I haven't done with you guys yet. Let's do office products. So I'm just going to hit enter. Jared, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. So now that we have our main category, we need a subcategory down. So we're going to pick one. And just what's going through my mind right now is I'm trying to figure out where I want to go. Like calculators, the likelihood of us finding something in there is pretty low. Phones, we're probably not going to even get those accounts. Desk organization, potentially. Projectors, maybe, maybe not. We're going to go with desk organization. And again, sometimes it's hit or miss, and then we got to jump out and jump back into another one. And let's see, we can go down one more. I'm not, just because I don't know this category super well. So we're going to go ahead and start filtering 4 stars and up. That way it's actually a good quality product. At minimally $20. Now for this category though, honestly, I'm going to go 50. And now we're sourcing. So what are we looking for? Right in this little container here, I'm looking for the BSR to be under 50,000. I'm looking for minimal 3 FBA sellers. The reason why I want 3 at least is with there being only 1, it's most likely a private label. Even with 2, honestly, it's private label. So I look for 3 or more. You want some competition. Competition's not bad. And I want to make sure Amazon is not on that listing, and you'll see that here. So sold by Amazon. And all we're doing is we're scrolling, right? And I'm just looking for these things relatively quick. See if we can find anything that pops up. Now this is kind of like the heavy lifting side of sourcing. Once we pick a few products, we can start leaf sourcing and then doing competitor research, which really honestly just opens up a Pandora's box of amazing inventory. Like that's where it gets really easy. So this is the hard part. So we're going to keep scrolling through. I'm not seeing much that I like. All right, I'm going to jump out. So we're going to switch it up. I personally like tools in home improvement. Sam, do they have to be FBA sellers? No, they can be non-FBA sellers. We just don't want it to be Amazon or a private label brand. But yeah, if they're non-FBA sellers, so if they're merchant fulfilled, so MBA sellers, that's totally fine. That actually might be a ton of opportunity for you to take advantage of. All right, so we got our little subcategories here. We're going to jump into hardware. We're going to give this one a go. Not going to niche down on this one. So 4 stars and up again. This one I'm also going to do 50. I've become kind of picky about price. But feel free to do 20. That's where I've been for the longest time. So obviously, like this one fits our criteria, but we're probably not going to get this account. And by hovering over it, you can see in the bottom right corner, orange is all over this Keepa chart. So that means Amazon is off and on. So I don't really care. I don't want this product. We'll keep scrolling through. Now, what we might be able to do, and I've actually never tried leaf sourcing from these kind of products, but we're going to try it tonight. Still scrolling. Some categories are a little tougher. This is going to be the same company, actually. We actually might be able to get it. Well, no, Amazon's on that one, too. So some product types or categories are a bit tough to weed through because there's huge brands dominating that category or subcategory, as well as interesting. I don't like that. So let me explain why I don't like this real quick, just a super sidebar. So it meets a lot, right? Great, but the Keepa kind of shows nothing. So we're going to delve into that just so I can explain it to you guys. So the difficult thing about Keepa is sometimes it doesn't work. So this is actually not a bad product at all, right? So if you notice when we first looked at the Keepa chart, it showed nothing, which immediately turned me off. But after looking into it, it's actually not bad, right? So let's look at the average. Average is 8,300, not terrible at all. And the average price is $59.94. Now you'll notice the current price is $69.9, $69.95. Not bad. Now the buy box though is $65.66. So there is some competition here. Now there's only one seller in this buy box, right? So assuming we can price with this seller, we're good, or this seller is offloading inventory, in which case that's why nobody else down here is dropping. So we might have to wait for this guy to run out of inventory. Not a big deal. We'll take a closer look here. Now you'll notice there's variations too. There's also a black version of this. I personally don't play with variations. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So there may or may not be a map agreement. I don't think that there is, but it's very close. So I'm very interested in this product, to be honest. It's super lightweight, so shipping is going to be a joke. Great reviews, decent amount of reviews at least. 64% 5-star, 24% 4-star. That's fantastic. Price is incredibly high. This is fantastic. All right, so one that I would have moved on or moved away from, I'm immediately interested. So what do? We grab their brand name, right? We just grab it right here or up here, throw it into Google, and we find them. Typically, first 5 results were good. And so what I'm looking for once I hit their site is how do I get an account? So typically up here in their main menu, in the footer, just scanning here. I actually don't see much. So I have to click through a little bit. Okay, so same thing, so looking through. Okay. We have a pro purchase program. That's probably not going to be us. Professional guidelines. We do have a dealer up here. Jared, I assume you're set up as an LLC. That's correct. Now, when I got started, I didn't. I simply did it as my name. And I had a resale certificate registered to my social security number, so my personal identity. And then once I ramped up and was going to do this full time, I transitioned over to a LLC and created a resale permit for the LLC and shut down the one in my personal name. Joseph, you said earlier looking for below 50,000 in BSR. When I use Jungle Scout around that range, there are not many items being sold, like 6 sellers for instance, and only 200 being sold. Am I missing something? No, it depends on the category, right? So just because it's under 50K doesn't mean I like it. That's just my initial quick. If it's over 50K, I don't look at it. That's what I mean by that. So for certain categories like sports and outdoors, I know that I need to be below 20,000 for that category. Whereas in toys, I can go up to 50K. So there's a range there, but that's just, I use that as a quick filter looking at things. All right, so we're still looking for this guy here. Their site is not set up good at all. Let me know if you guys see something I'm not, but at least we have a contact, so that's good. Now, as you guys know, I wanted a phone call. So we do have a US-based number here, so I'm just going to copy that down. Of course, it's a image, so I can't just copy paste it. That sucks. Okay, so this is Pitzel. Interesting. So we're going to jump over here, jump into our pipeline, add them. Pitzel. Interesting. Phone number we do have. Email. We have an email. we have info at. Obviously, I don't like info at. I'll put it though. So, interesting name. I will say that. I guess I'm spelling that wrong. Grab that website though. So reload this. Typically, when I put in a website, I put the contact page on there. Let's just go to this in here. Now, again, I want to make sure I'm referencing the specific product that I'm interested in. So I'm going to grab the ASIN, which is up here in the URL. And I'm just going to make a quick note here, ASIN. That way, whenever I reach out to them, I will have this pulled up and ready to go. That way I can speak like it's top of mind, even though I'm going through hundreds of these at a given time. So it makes it a little bit easier, right? So we can even take a look here at this product just to see what kind of shipping, things like that. I might even bring this down a little bit. Well, yeah, we'll play with it right there. So you can basically see what kind of gross you have, gross margin you have. So we have $48.37 built into this, not including shipping and the cost of the product, right? So your cost of goods sold, so your COGS, if you will. I just estimate 50% on the high end. I know I'm closer to between 20 and 30%, so I go 30% conservative. So I know, let's see where we got this at. So this guy is 0.4 pounds, right? So I can do 0.30 times 0.4. So it's going to cost me 12 cents per unit. Shipping inbound costs, shipped to Amazon. That's what we're looking at here. We don't know what the shipping cost is. Inbound shipping is shipping from the manufacturer to us, and then obviously shipped to Amazon is different. This one we can know off the top of our head. I really can't imagine these things being more than 20 bucks actual wholesale cost. I could be wrong. Obviously, that's why we want to reach out, but still really not bad. So I really like this product, to be honest. Keepa is really just not recording this one that well, which kind of sucks. You can see here, though, the price has kind of fluctuated a bit, which I'm not a fan of, but it's not bad. But you can see we can't even pull in the Keepa info. So not bad, though. Definitely not bad. What I do want to do, because I want to show you guys this, is leaf sourcing, right? So I found a product I like. I want to go ahead and start sourcing from this. Let me answer some questions real quick. Sam, do you do prepaid or credit when you place your orders? Credit in terms of net terms, I do not. So here's my philosophy with that. When you're testing a product, right, when you're placing your first, let's say, 2 to 3 orders with a product, you want to go ahead and pay for that. However, once you're in a position where you've personally stabilized that product, and what I mean by that is it's consistently, let's say, doing 100 units a month in volume for you. Now I can better anticipate, and so then I'm most likely going to go net 30, right? It just frees up more cash flow for me, more capital to spend to grow. So it's a growth strategy, basically, but you want to grow into that per supplier, not go into that from the get-go, right? So like if you go net 30, you buy 100 units to test and it goes to shit, probably not the best relationship to build. I'm not really a fan of doing that. But, you do you. Jared, how do you check sales stats for this product? Perfect. Glad you brought that up. So my biggest thing that helped me was not basing my data off of the current BSR, but off the average, right? So our average was at 8308. So let's do this. junglescout.com estimator. Make sure we get the category correct. Sports and outdoors. So we're going to pick our category, sports and outdoors. And it was 8308, if I'm not mistaken, roughly about there. Okay, so we know this whole listing is doing 390 units a month. Right, and Jungle Scout's pretty accurate. They're as accurate as we can get. So what does that mean? We need to know how many people we're going to be competing with. I'm assuming that this lower price isn't going to last too long, or I'm going to come in at it, right? So I can make a few different assumptions. Assumption number one, I'm going to come in here at the same price, in which case me and House Paradise will split this listing, right? So that means I can assume I should be able to do 195 units a month myself. If we go up closer to here, okay, so now it's 390, assuming House Paradise doesn't come back in if they're liquidating, there's going to be 3 people we will compete with plus ourselves, so that's going to be 4. I can still move close to 100 units a month. Even if House Paradise does come in and there's 5 of us, I can still move close to 80 units a month. So that's good, right? I want 30 units a month myself. This gets me well over that. That's how I'm estimating volume, especially estimating how to place initial orders. Sam, you don't think Jungle Scout is accurate, eh? Remember, you have to be going based off of the average, not the current. Very important distinction there. All right, so let's leaf source from this guy. So all leaf sourcing is you start from a product rather than the product page, right? So we're not going to be sourcing from here. Sorry for all the pop-ups. We're going to be sourcing from the product page. The idea being, if we can find a product that we like, most likely we can find other products just like it with a lot more ease, right? So you can see down here, already not bad. This is the same brand. For some reason, Sports and Outdoors, Keepa has an issue pulling data. So what we're not going to do in this situation is look at this brand because we're already on here looking at it. And just to be clear, make sure, I mean, you can do it from the sponsored products. I personally don't because you can't pull any Keepa info from it, so I just leave it alone. Let's see, we have Pixa. That is all over the place. The good thing, though, is Petzl. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. There's a wide variety of products that seem to be doing pretty good. So I would even bring on a SKU from them that only does 10 units, just because I could easily add on to volume. So Black Diamond's a pretty big one. We have what we need. I mean, Petzl's all over the place. This is a pretty popular private label niche too, so you got to be careful with that. Streamline. Amazon on that one. Phoenix. Kind of all over the place as well. This one seems to be doing a bit better. So we'll take a look here. Sam, is that the paid extension? Where are you seeing the average rank? Okay, so the extension is not paid. So junglescout.com/estimator is free. I'm getting the average from Keepa. Right, so we come down here, this is the Keepa extension. If I hover over the statistics, it gives me the average price as well as the average sales rank over a 90 and 180 days. I typically just go 90. So like this one, the average is 49,282. compared to where it currently is, which is 88,812, right? So something you want to keep in mind. So I don't like this product just because it's pretty high, kind of all over the place. Not a fan. All right, so let's look at this guy. I want to leaf source from this one because we're definitely just not going to get this one, and that is a-okay. So again, just leaf sourcing here. Amazon's all over this category. Such is life. Okay, here's what we can do. So you notice you're gonna have to jump around here. Part of the process, again, this is the hardest part. I want to do some sports stuff. Summer's coming around, right? Not too bad. What do we want to do? Diving and snorkeling might be pretty good. 4 stars and up. This one we'll do 20, just because the category. What we can find, ignoring these sponsored listings up here. Find something good. Sometimes you want to anticipate seasons, especially a few quarters in advance, at least a quarter in advance. That way you have that inventory ready to go. What do we have here? Seabait. Take a closer look. Keepa sometimes within certain categories, again, just doesn't perform as much as it does in toys, which is slightly understandable. Closer look here. If you guys have any questions, please keep putting them in the comments. Sam, I have Keepa, it doesn't show me. It's most likely going to be in these settings. So if we go over here, and you click up here on settings, you can change it in here. If you want, take a quick screenshot of my current settings and just replicate it. Give you a second to do that. All right, get back to it. So Robert, sorry I missed the beginning. What is the extension that shows the FBA sellers and whether Amazon sells it? That is DS Amazon Quick View. That is this guy right here. And it will save you a great deal of time. So again, still looking here, part of the process. At least you guys know this isn't staged. This is the real deal. All right, so we're going to jump into the ones we have over here. For some reason, I want to see if Keepa can show a little bit more. It doesn't, for some reason. I do see 3703 in sports and outdoors. But again, I want to know the average. The average is more important. All right, so it looks like Keepa. Oh, here we got this one. Okay, so that's good. This at least gives us something. So price is relatively flat, nice and stabilized. The average BSR is 8127, and as high as I would like it to be in this category. Certainly not bad. Now, the interesting thing So it's not showing any sellers. I've actually never seen this before. This is interesting. Okay. All right. That one is a dud. Maybe we can try climbing gear. Again, you really like have to mix it up. 20 and up, that's good. 8+ on this guy. Again with the Keepa though. Black Diamond's pretty big brand. So now Keepa's showing, that's good. Not bad rank. Again, with the sellers, I don't understand. Okay. I'm gonna grab it though. Somebody's getting sales with this. Now you'll notice the price is not stabilized like I like. All over here, let me highlight that. So there's your price. Not a huge fan. This is a pretty volatile listing. Assuming there's not a ton of sellers, you could stabilize it yourself. But let's check some leaf sourcing from here. And keep us being a pain in the ass and not helping me at all. So we are going to jump into a category that they support a bit better. Let's do golf. That's a good one. I like golf. 4 stars and up, $20 and up. This one, because I want to avoid all these golf balls, I'm going to go 50, and I don't really care about carrying Nike shirts because I can't. Let the thing load up here, and let's go through it. I gotta say, I do like this category for tech. Usually they're small to medium brands that fit perfectly with what we're doing. And not super hard to get accounts with. They're not commercialized or mainstream enough, which is huge for us. It's Oakley. We're not going to get Oakley. Three and up. Let's take a look. Again, I personally don't carry clothing. Not that it's bad by any means. Too many variations. I'm not a fan. If you guys have questions, again, got a few people jumping in. Throw them into the comment section. Amazon was on that one. This is the go-to though, guys. So what we're gonna do before we kind of close out, which we got some time, obviously. I'm going to do some competitor research and explain that whole strategy to you guys because it makes this seem like the medieval times. And actually, I know exactly what I want to do with. So let's take a look at this one real quick. Amazon choice, I do like that. Let's see if Keepa will actually load. Having the roughest time with Keepa, oh my god. All right, so what I do want to do, I want to do competitor research on this guy. Robert what are the big things you're looking for in the view before you see enough to click on an item? Great question. Super clear and simple. Under 50,000 in the rank, again, I'm not buying based off that. That's just a quick view. 3 FBA sellers or more, Amazon is not carrying it. 4 stars and up, and $20 and above, though lately it's been closer to 50. Jared, does Vendrive allow you to upload a supplier's inventory list? No. So Vendrive is not a price scanning tool. So we do not have that functionality. It just doesn't really fit with what we're trying to do, at least for now. All right, so let's jump in here. All right, so let's see who we want to source from. Preferably all 4 of these guys, to be honest. 35 pretty low. This one actually might be a good one to focus on because they're relatively new. So what am I doing? I'm going to this seller's storefront, and then, fun fact, I can see everything that they carry. Now, just initially, just because they're carrying Black Diamond, Petzl, and I believe another, we're most likely going to be able, or this seller is probably buying from a distributor, which is going to be easy for us to actually find and get an account with as well, assuming it's profitable enough, right? So we can see they're carrying a decent amount of this Petzl product line. Black Diamond keeps coming up. Ronston, let's see here. Yeah, not the best. Now, just because it's on this list does not mean they're actively carrying it, so you really want to source effectively from this list. This is everything that this seller has carried before, right? So you can tell not a whole lot, right? They have like 3 pages. But if we go over to House Paradise with 1,108 ratings in total, whole different ballgame. Mona, you missed the beginning. Not a big deal. It is recorded, so as soon as I end the broadcast, I'll publish it in the group, and you can rewatch the whole thing. So you can see all the brands as well. Obviously, same brand, Opinel. Again, this is most likely a seller carrying distributor items. Now, they have a ton, and I do mean a ton, of reviews. So I'm really curious as to why they're not carrying more inventory. It's very interesting. Number 2. Unless these products we're looking at are just doing crazy volumes, which I don't believe they are. So let's take a look at, let's go a little bit higher. Net rush. Now this is a process that I would have a VA do. So what I would do is I would basically pull these links right here, post them into a spreadsheet, and then have a VA go through all of these for me and find those gems, right? Because again, not all of these are going to fit. Just because a seller carried them before doesn't mean we want to carry them now. They probably might not even carry them now. Nordic Naturals, interesting one. I don't go deep into supplements myself. Now the thing when you're clicking through these though, you'll notice there's a ref right here. What we want to do is just get actually right here, right past the M equals. We want to get rid of that, and then it'll change everything. So what I just did when I clicked on the initial link, that's just showing the inventory of the supplier. We want to see the whole thing. So like obviously not super interested. This one's 1441. Volume might make up for that. 2644 right now. Average 2712. That's not bad. Amazon has been on it, but not in a long time. Average is 1441. Lowest is 799. Pretty consistent, to be honest. You can see here, pretty consistent price. It's actually not bad. Interesting, eTails is actually on it, but just as interesting, so is the brand. So now I'm not as interested because Nordic Naturals is going to have a better price than I will in terms of cost, and so will eTails. Something to keep in mind. But I probably still look. So again, we could just source from other sellers and have them do all the work all day long. Fairly easy. Mono, let's see. Some supplier asks for my credit card info to fill in their credit form. Is that safe? Yes. So whenever you're setting up your wholesale account, they want a payment method on file, typically a credit card. So yeah, that's super normal. Again, huge chunk from 29.37 to 23 down here. Make sure we get rid of this. I'm not sure if that reflects that or not. Now, the cool thing is, as you're finding and going through these products that are interesting, there's a whole other list of sellers over here. Keep that in mind. So think about how that scales. The 29.37, 23.55, but the current is 29.35. Average sales rank 43.32. Average price is 28.74, so not too far off. Ocean View Marketing. Yeah, it's not bad. I would actually take a look at this. 512 customer reviews. That's pretty good. It's not bad. So up. Seems like a pretty big company. It's not a bad thing. Nothing at the top. Scroll down here to the bottom. See what we can find. We at least have a contact us. I prefer there to be some kind of wholesale situation that we can do. Business line. So that's good, right? All right. So let's grab this. So this is Rainbow Light. Add into a pipeline over here. Rainbow Light. Phone number. We luckily do have an email, although it's an info at. So obviously you want to call them, not email. Otherwise it's just going to get lost. And what is the point in that? I'm just going to put here. I think I spelled that wrong. That's all right. So we're over here. Again, grabbing that ASIN. Oops. And so the whole strategy here, although it seems like it's taking forever, and it kind of is, because Keep is kicking my ass, you find things that scale, right? So doing competitor research scales. And then what I'm doing is I'm making sure that this silo, right, this level of my funnel, my pipeline is staying constantly full. So if at any point one of my products goes bad, drops price, whatever, and I can't continue to carry it, I can immediately replace it with something else. And so I know that if I had another 30K come into the business that I can spend in addition to what I'm currently doing, I can immediately deploy that capital and bring on inventory that I just have not been able to do. That's where you want to be at. So although it doesn't seem super sexy, super fun, welcome to building a real business. So some nights it's going to be like this, right? Like you guys who have been here for a while have seen nights where I've been able to honestly find just product after product and just ran out of time, and nights like this where it's a little tougher. All part of the process, not a big deal. Again, Vendrive kind of helping making that a simpler deal, right? So I know whenever I log in, I know here's where I need to spend my time, right? Like I know how many people I need to contact, how many new suppliers that need to be contacted, how many that I'm waiting for their application and to be approved, going specifically down into that, did I get these accounts, right? So you'll notice whenever we, let me back out of that. When you drag here, you have one loss or delete, right? So I can track how well I'm doing, right? Pretty nice. That way you can track your approval rates and see if you can spike that, right? If you're at 30% approval rate, what can you do to get to 40%, and what would that mean over time? Pretty important. So I'm going to give you guys some time to ask a few questions before I get everything ready for tomorrow, because I have class tomorrow. For you guys, here's a coupon code for Vendrive. It's just Vendrive. It is only available for the next 20 minutes. It says 30, but it was done 10 minutes ago. So it's 25% off for the next 3 months. Now you guys also have access to a 14-day free trial. We've had a decent amount of you guys come through, and we're seriously loving the feedback. Some of the feedback in terms of improvements and stuff like that are fantastic. Like, some of the use cases you guys are giving us are things, honestly, we never would have thought about. Like, this is really cool. So really enjoying working with you guys, watching you guys, like, because we got started, God, months and months ago with the group, and we've seen people like Julian scale to 30K a month. He'll easily do half a million this year in sales. Amanda getting started a few months ago and scaling, working full time and all that good stuff. Mark, who every time we have a Google Hangout, this dude's faxing wholesale applications mid sentence. I love it. See, Jared, how do you find phoning versus emailing suppliers? 100% phoning works. Like, making phone calls, you will have a higher approval rate, and you can work objections immediately right there. Because with the email, they can just not respond. With a phone call, once you get them on the phone, they can't just hang up on you. Like, they're just not going to. So you have a higher approval rate. Obviously, if you have limited time, like I did when I got started, email is more efficient but less effective, right? So you have to figure out in your current situation what makes the most sense. For me at the time, it was being more efficient than effective. Now it's about being more effective rather than being more efficient. But the more effective you become, there's things you can do, like using a tool like Vendrive, using a platform like this to basically make that process less of a pain in the ass. Because calling 20, 30 suppliers a day is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I'll be the first one to admit that. You can certainly email 300 a day. I've done that. So a few more questions before I head out. Actually got really late. I didn't realize how late it was. Where's everybody at? We just crossed 1,500 users. I want to know where everybody's at. There's so many different time zones. Jared, do I ever go to trade shows? No. Personally, I don't have the time. I think they're fantastic. I think you should definitely go with a strategy in mind that you can deploy. Preferably go with somebody who has done it and successfully landed new accounts that are profitable before, and then replicate and try to figure out how did they do that, watch them do that, and then go do it yourself and scale it out, right? You could easily go to a trade show a month. I think that's a bit much. Maybe one a quarter. It's pretty good. But you need to have a strategy, right? Don't just show up and walk up and be like, I'd like a wholesale account, please. There's an art to it, just like phone calls, just like email, just like sourcing. But done right, fantastic, really fantastic. So one more question, then I'm going to head out for the night. I do have a blog post coming tomorrow morning for you guys, specifically on a problem I keep hearing about and have been asked to answer a lot, which is how to know when to go full-time with your business. When can you quit your job, basically? So I answered that very simply, give you a simple framework to work with, and it'll clearly tell you yes or no. And it's very effective. It is very risk averse or risky, depending on how you want to approach it, right? It's all based on your situation. But that blog post coming out tomorrow morning is really going to answer a lot of questions for you guys and really help you clarify a lot of things. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry we didn't find as much as I would have liked to. Kind of part of the process, though. But good start. Found 2. Obviously, it's been like an hour and I'm talking a lot. So the good thing is when you're doing this by yourself and you're really in the zone, it's quite easy to come out with, 30 to 50 potential new products to move on per day when you get into the zone. Go back and watch some of the previous live sourcing videos where I was able to basically do that. So you can kind of see the spectrum, right? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not as good, but it's all good. All right, guys. Jared, glad you could make it. Welcome to the group. Everyone who's new, who haven't had a pleasure of meeting, welcome to the group. Hope you're enjoying it. Hoping you're taking action on this stuff and it's providing value. That's what we're here to do, provide value day in, day out. Unfortunately, I can't be as active daily like I was before. That's thanks due to college, but we'll get it worked out. So if you guys have any questions, you can always message me on Facebook and post within the Facebook group and tag me in it. That's probably the best way, to be honest. That way everybody can see and I can help you out. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, geez. Vendrive Hangout. So if you're a Vendrive member, you become a member every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a Google Hangout where we deep dive into your specific problems within your business. Other users share what's working for them, what's not working for them. It's a fantastic mastermind, basically, that's just included within the tool that we just do. That right there is a huge game changer for a lot of people. So if you guys aren't Vendrive members, highly suggest you jump in there, come join us. Fun time for all. And let's get your business to 6 figures by the end of this year. Completely doable. I did it in about 7-8 months last year. So you guys can easily do that. And I'm not just talking 100K. I'm talking like 250K. All of you are capable of doing that. We can do it together. So set those goals nice and high. Let's do it. All right, guys. Have a great night.